The level of political blackmail by UDA leaders who are out to shield the image of President William Ruto in the midst of the lying tongue image that is coming, it's not going to be redeemable. And if the UDA MPs wants to help the leader, they consider that one of their President William Ruto, then they should directly confront the president. And if they are playing their oversight role genuinely, then they must actually be truthful and speak truth to power. Listen to Willis Otieno when Willis Otieno was, explaining on how the Nyanza tour, or rather, was actually telling Kisumu Senator Gender that they're actually lying about the president's, the success of the president's tour in Nyanza.
The second thing Ruto should have done in the region is to say, last year I was here. I launched the Bondo Leunda Road. What has happened? The contractor is out of sight. Why is the contractor not working? I launched the Kabonyo Kanyagwal Road, the fisheries project. There is not even a single, not even a wheelbarrow, that is the symbol of UDA, is on site at Kabonyo Kanyagwal as we speak. Nothing is happening. You should tell the people of Kabonyo Kanyagwal and the fishermen that I want to make sure that we bring a wheelbarrow and we bring a tractor to start this project. It has not started. Next, you should have gone to Professor Jenda's own home. His home is at Godabuoro. Behind his home, right near his fence, is the Mamboleo Chemelil Muroni Road. That road was started during Uhuru's time. It has stalled. Even if Professor Jenda wants to be selfish, let him be selfish on only one thing. Make sure that Muroni Chemelil Mamboleo Road is done. And I say that because of this. That road is what we call an industrial road. It serves Muroni Sugar Factory, it serves Chemelil Sugar Factory, it serves Kibos Sugar Factory, it serves Agrochemicals Factory, it serves Kisumu Concrete. Yeah. So that this road ultimately even helps the farmers who are Professor Jenda's neighbors. Okay. It helps in terms of moving industrial products. That road has stalled as we speak. Contractor is out of sight. Okay. Nothing happened on that. Let's go to what he talks about, the housing projects that have been done. The Lumumba housing scheme, the Makasembo housing scheme, those are county government projects. The Kisumu County Governor and Lap Trust entered into a partnership to put up those houses. It has nothing to do with the national government. So that if he says that William Ruto comes to launch these projects, what will Professor Nyong'o launch? Because these are his flagship projects that he has looked for partners and he has delivered on them. Professor Jenda should not give Ruto Professor Nyong'o's flowers. Professor Nyong'o deserves his flowers. Yeah. You go to Siaya, Siriwo Rice Mill. Siriwo Rice Mill is 100% funded by the local county government. That is James Orengo's flower. Let James Orengo, who has worked to produce that Siriwo Rice Mill, let him take the credit. Ruto cannot come to Siaya and say, I've launched the Siriwo Rice Mill, when that is actually a county government initiative. And the list goes on and on. All these so-called projects that William Ruto launched in the region.
It is a reality that the country is questioning the stream of projects that are being launched in the country, but quite a number of them remain incomplete. The members of National Assembly's Trade Committee on Tuesday summoned Treasury officials headed by John Badi, and they are accusing Treasury of sabotaging the development projects across the country. This is coming amidst the uproar of incomplete projects. And I want to disagree with them that they're a bit dishonest with this blame on the Treasury. The committee that is led by this gentleman, John Gakuya, allied to UDA party, pointed out to the concern of Treasury not being able to submit, or rather to avail money for development by the Treasury. Eldai, this is Gakuya saying, our biggest concern as a committee is the National Treasury has decided to kill industrialization and manufacturing sector by starving state departments of funds. That is Gikuya. Aldai MP Marian Kitany, who is also UDA, questioned the Treasury team, in particular on why they denied state departments and their agencies development funds, despite them being in critical in generation of revenue in the country at a time when government is struggling to raise the money. Marian Kitany is saying that for the government to collect more revenue in the key sectors of the economy, it has to invest funds to spark growth in various sectors. How do you project to get revenue when you are not investing? Kitany is saying. The blame game at a time when the fate of key projects remained unknown continues. Is it true? Why is it a matter of Treasury not availing money for these projects, or the money is unavailable, or what exactly is it? And I want to say this. I want to use just some three examples that are available here before we look at the response from before we look at the response from the Treasury officials themselves. I want you to listen to this.
Tulikubaliana na nyinyi ya kwamba kilimo yetu lazima itusaidie kuweka pesa kwa mfuko ya mkulima. Nego kana tigo. Si tulikubaliana namna hiyo? Sasa leo mimi nimekuja kuanzisha rasmi ile inaitwa Export Processing Zone ya Sagana hapa Kirinyaga. Mumesikia kwa muda mrefu tumekuwa na Export Processing Zone kule Athi River, lakini tumesema ile ya Athi River iko na watu zaidi ya 40,000 wanafanya kazi huko. Sasa tumesema hiyo special economic zone na export processing zone iko Athi River. Sasa tunalete moja yao ikuje hapa Sagana, ndio tuweze kupanga ajira ya watu wa sehemu hii. Nyinyi mnanielewa? So pale tumeweka milioni 500 ya kwanza ya kuanzisha the first phase. Na mimi nataka mnisikize vizuri. Nimeambia contractor leo, kabla ya Disemba mimi nitafika hapa kuja kuifungua rasmi, ndio tuanze kupanga ajira ya hawa vijana. Vijana mnanisikia? Na tumekubaliana na wizara ya kwamba next week wanaanza kuadvertise wale investors watakaoegeza hapa Sagana, ndio tuanze kuwapanga ili wakati tutakuja kufungua hii special economic zone tayari kuwe na watu ambao wataanza kufanya kazi kwa wale investors watakuwa wameegeza hapa Sagana.
There was a time just this year, President went to Sagana and he was talking about the export processing zones, that there was one that was supposed to be established there. This is what William Ruto said. So that was a promise he made, and he said it in Nyeri. But in this article, this is what they are saying. Among the projects that have stalled include construction of 6 export promotion zones, EPZ. They were allocated 500 million each in the last financial year. But according to data from Treasury, only 300 million has been released to the projects after a directive by the president. Out of, there were 6, each at 500, but only 300 million, and not that 300 each, only 300 million out of the total cost has been availed for those export processing zones. And so even when you're blaming Treasury, look at the president himself went and promised the people. And you look at that act of promising, but it is not deliverable. It's one of the things that is causing the jitters. Now that is Sagana. Let's go to Kiambu. The next day, just the same tour, the president went to Kiambu. And while in Kiambu, he spoke about the Coffee Cherry Fund.
Hakuna haja ya kwenda kukopa pesa kwa bank, mahali munalipa 20%, 25%. Tumetoa pesa ya serikali, shilingi bilioni 3. Munaweza kwenda kuchukua pesa kutoka Cherry Fund, ambaye mutalipishwa interest 3%. Wachana na 20%. Nyinyi mnanielewa? Mimi nataka nikuulize wewe, hata kama hujui hesabu, 3% na 20% uweze kujua iko tofauti? Si iko tofauti kubwa? Iko haja ya mtu kwenda kwa 20% kama iko 3%? So please, wale management ya cooperative kama ni hii ya Kirinyaga ama ile ingine yote ya Kenya, tumesema kama serikali, there is now no reason for any cooperative to go to borrow money, expensive money from banks and other financial institutions. We now have money in the Cherry Fund that is available at 3% for our farmers so that we can avoid farmers getting into debt.
Telling the farmers that they will now be accessing Coffee Cherry Fund at an affordable 3% rate. That was a promise in the campaign trail with all understandings of what was going to happen. And remember, this was spoken even after that finance bill was dropped, after that finance bill collapsed. The MPs also questioned why 3.5 billion for the Coffee Cherry Fund had not been released, despite Parliament allocating 4 billion in the financial year 2023-2024. The current financial year operating is 2024-2025. In the last financial year, we set aside 3.5 billion for the Coffee Cherry Fund. But that money cannot be traced or is not seen anywhere. But the UDA MPs are blaming the Treasury for this, while it is not even the Treasury. These are decisions that are made from Parliament, the Budget Appropriation Committee led by the Budget Committee led by Andindi Nyoro, are the people that arrive at this decision. But the MPs are trading their guns on it. And that's why I'm saying it's actually blackmail, where they understand what exactly is happening. Now, there is also 350 million meant for modernization of Kenya Planters Cooperative Union warehouse, despite allocation by the National Treasury 2023-2024, and it was in supplementary budget 2 that was never, or rather was never availed. So you will actually realize that there is some politics in it. And I think those who are supposed to do the right thing are not doing the right thing. This is what the Treasury is saying. The Treasury, led by Bernard Ndungu, the Director General in charge of accounting services, responded by stating that the delays were occasioned by the shortfall in revenue and scarcity of money resources that was occasioned by debts owed by Kenya. Due to shortfall of revenue and scarcity of cash resources, the National Treasury usually applies for administrative criteria by giving priority to debt. For example, before we allocate money for projects and even recurrent expenditure, the debts are given priority. Debt servicing is given priority. Then they're saying, Treasury also revealed that government faced problem of giving priority to recurrent expenditures, and therefore that informed their decision not to release money that affected key projects. Security salaries, counties' social programs such as education, health, development, and flagship projects, among others, equally require administrative priorities. Now, I'm reading a lot of dishonesty from the clique of UDA MPs that are going after Mbadi, because they understand from Ruto's point of view. It is not that the Treasury is not it is not that Mbadi is not releasing this money. Some of these projects that have stalled were actually in the previous financial year. So it's not even this one that Mbadi is serving in. It was actually the previous financial year. Some were even supplementary estimates, but it has not been taken care of. And I think it will be, we don't want to say, but Mbadi will really have a difficult task, because looking at the way things are panning out, John Ruto, there is a clique of Central Kenya politicians that are reading some antagonism, some us versus them. This is between the Raila's ODM camp and probably a camp around Rigathi Gachagua or around Rigathi Gachagua. So this us versus them is coming, and in fact you'll realize that Gakuya is an ally of Rigathi Gachagua. Eldai, member of parliament, it's about to be allied between Ruto Gachagua there. But there is a clique of MPs who are dissatisfied with the new development, and now they're taking Mbadi by the horn as the person to be sacrificed on the altar. I still want to say, if they are honest, if someone is honest about taking Ruto to account, then you rather speak truth to him instead of sugarcoating. Kindly subscribe to our channel, click the notification bell, and like our videos. Thank you very much for supporting our podcasts. Today of 5th September, I still continue to say thank you very much for those who supported and are still supporting the Kilifi Elderly Mission. We are carrying out construction of some houses. The 2 houses are supposed to be ready by, I think, 6th or rather 7th of this month. Then we will complete the rest. ODM team will carry the burden of incumbency. And any other mistake, anything that Ruto is not getting right, ODM is slowly going to carry that burden. Quite unfortunate, but sadly, that is the direction it's taking. And lastly, and the other thing I see, Ruto's greatest blunder is hope-hawking. In fact, these campaigns are just hope-hawking. You're sure this might not be delivered as you're promising, it might not be available, but because you want to be seen as if you're working, you promise that coffee cherry fund. It's not there, it's not been delivered. You spoke about the export processing zone in Sagana. It's not there, money has not even been set aside for it. So, but why do the executive run in public to make those pronouncements? Because when you make pronouncements, the public buys in. The public sees the hope of a better future. But in real sense, the money is not available even to make it. And I think those, the UDA politicians should just tell the president to stop politicizing projects. I like sometimes how Uru used to did it. Uru didn't fancy going to start projects. Uru fancied complete projects. I'm yet to see a complete project. And I think towards the end of Ruto's term, this first term, we should see more. 2 years after, 2 years after presidency, you should not still just be launching. I think now, even in 2025, the new round of, trip by the president should not only be centered around projects being launched. Should be projects that are completed and they're just being commissioned. I think that would be a better way to show your commitment and try to show the country that you're doing something, instead of just being seated there and thinking like you're doing this, you're doing that, but we really don't mean for it. So ladies and gentlemen, that is my take. Let's meet in the next. Thank you.